welcome to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly, I'm a tarot reader and K-Pop fan of 15 years. For those of you who have been requesting for me to do these personality and career reading, I have heard you, I have seen your comments. Thank you so much for all the requests. We're gonna go ahead and get this done for you guys today. Hopefully it'll be up in the next few days. It's the 30th, I think, today. So we'll try to get that done. Thank you again. So yeah, we're gonna use my Kim Krans well-known archetypes to do the personality reading, and then I'll do a quick 10-card career reading. So if you've seen my personality readings before, you know that I do about 6 cards just because people, you know, have extremely deep, multifaceted personalities. This is only just a quick slice of it, whatever's kind of at the top right now. We definitely will do future personality readings to broaden those things and see how his environment and personalities change in the future. But today we're just gonna do the 6 cards, okay? So everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. If you did not see the big disclaimer at the beginning of the video, go ahead and pull a few more. And the father card just keeps coming out for everyone. Oops. You can see my remote and my batteries. Let's get those out of there. Okay, so first we have the river, and can I get it? No, okay. Nail problems. So we have it in the light attribute, which is going to tell us that he's very kind of emotionally receptive. He's actually a really pretty deep, thinking, sensitive person, but he's not in a way that makes him hard to deal with. He does live in his feelings kind of, and it is how he really connects with other people is through like deep emotional intimate connection. He's not very shallow, you know what I mean? Like he definitely likes people who he can connect with in a deep, meaningful way. And then we have the self also in the light attribute, which is kind of, he knows himself. He's very confident in kind of like who he is. He understands he may not be everyone's cup of tea. He may be a little different than what people expect, but he's very confident and happy with kind of who he is. Again, it doesn't mean he doesn't get hurt by people's words and that kind of things, but it is kind of like, no negativity is going to make him feel bad about kind of like who he is in a way that makes him want to change. He will just feel bad that like sometimes I think he can feel like who he is can alienate some people, but you know, c'est la vie, right? You know, you can't please everyone. So, but yeah, he definitely understands, but he also values the genuineness of himself, and I think he values the genuineness of other people very much. So, you know, I see that pearl in the center of the card where it's just like you see with your heart, you know, you see with like the purity of self. And I think that's what he does. So then we have the father kind of in a bit of a neutral, but honestly the first thing that jumped out to me is the word supportive here. I do think he's supportive to people, but in a kind of very understated way. Even though he wants to connect people on a deep emotional level, sometimes he has trouble making those connections, and I think he is prone to kind of giving up on people if he doesn't feel he can make those connections, or if he doesn't feel those connections are very deep. So to me, it's like the card kind of feels like very much wanting to be more protective and more vocal. Let me see, oops, I think the camera is off a little bit. More vocal about supporting people, but he either doesn't know how to say it or just feels like they're not kind of close enough for him to feel comfortable saying it. I don't know, there's kind of like, he just has a hang up there about like really connecting with certain types of people, or just all the people he would like to. He just can't connect with as many of them because, I don't know, he has a way. Again, we have the box, which kind of is about not fitting in the box in the kind of his aspect here. It's more neutral. I don't know if that's making a lot of sense. He's a very kind of unique personality. It's hard for me to really express what I'm feeling for him in words, but it's like he works hard. He does what he has to do for his responsibilities to the group and to the company, but I think he also always kind of slightly feels like an outsider. Like he just doesn't think like they do, but he doesn't try to rebel against the issues that much either, at least, you know, with the group and with the company. I'm not, social issues are a whole nother thing that I just don't think he agrees with but can't speak on, kind of thing. That's a whole different vibe though. So then we have Apocalypsis, kind of yeah, in more of a shadowy aspect here. It does say he's a bit fearful, so maybe he is scared to speak out because of repercussions, which honestly, that doesn't surprise me. I think as a group they haven't ever, I don't want to say they haven't ever been able to say how they feel, because they say that quite often, but they don't feel like they can go against the grain in very specific aspects, right? Like they can speak up for youth, and they can speak up kind of for humanitarian issues, things like that, things everyone would kind of agree with them on. But like, say he didn't like the way the company president did something, like there's no way he would feel confident enough to say something like that. So it's kind of like there are certain avenues they could be very vocal about not liking, and then certain ones they absolutely they will never speak up on that. They can't. They just absolutely can't, especially B. It's like, I said that in his last reading too, where there's certain aspects where when it's too intense, when there's too much going on, he steps back and he's just like, you guys handle that. Like, that's not worth my energy. It's like, I don't know. He has opinions, but he'd rather keep them to himself than deal with the potential fallout of those opinions if they're spicy, you know. So then we have also Thanatos, gloomy, negative. So again, we talked about the river, how he is a sensitive person, and I don't think he's a very happy-go-lucky kind of person, even though that may be kind of what he's asked to present. I do think he has a bit of a gloomy, sullen side to him. I do think he's kind of one of the darker members, you know, mentally. Also, like maybe an interest in like more dark things, edgy, maybe more gothic in nature, more, I don't know, just understanding kind of the darker things in life, you know. Like a lot of times when you are a deep thinker and you are more sensitive and you are more emotional, your thoughts you want to understand the greater mysteries of life, right? And sometimes the occult and hidden mysteries, they can take you down some dark paths sometimes. So I just don't know. I don't like to diagnose anyone, but sometimes that card can come up for depression and things like that. So he may allegedly have some issues there with depression or bouts of low self-esteem, maybe here and there. So again, sometimes the cost of being very true to yourself and knowing that you're different than everyone else is knowing that you're different than everyone else. And I think in a country like Korea, that's especially hard because you're pressured to be like everyone else. So I think there's some of that, again, because he's not really an aggressive person with that. He holds it in, and that can be hard for him, I think, sometimes. So maybe what he's dealing with and kind of the personality traits that are at the surface right now. So hopefully if you enjoyed that, let me know if you think that resonated in the comments. Let me know how you feel about his personality and if any of this shows up or if he seems totally different. You know, like I said, I don't watch a lot of BTS shows. I usually just listen to their music. I don't really watch them when they're on their TV shows and stuff. So I think people would get to see a lot more of his personality than I probably have. So let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and do the career reading now with my Urban Tarot. See what we got here. Oops. Try it again. Okay. Okay. Did I get the, I feel like every time I do a BTS reading, I get the Fool. I just think that they're always getting new opportunities to do things. Okay. Always getting new opportunities. But this is really interesting to get Death right before the Fool. The first row is generally going to be stuff that's in the next 6 months to 2 years, probably. And then the next bottom row is going to be more in further future. So 5 to 10 years, that kind of thing. Usually that's how these go. So we're going to start with the Prince of Swords. So this is about potential. This is about, okay, good. I want to make sure I was recording. Prince of Swords, this is about potential, but this is also about like growing his ability to kind of communicate. This is about him probably seeking out more people to work with. Not necessarily creating with them yet, but like his network seems to be growing. It seems to be he's finding more like-minded individuals to do some future work with. I don't know if it's because they're expanding in the global market even more. You know, they're doing more English stuff, so maybe because he's working with more English-speaking producers or artists or things like that. Other things are like coming from that because it's about like discussion and potential. So then we have 5, which is worry, which is about a little bit to do with money situation. Again, I don't know if he's necessarily short on money, but there may be certain deals or certain aspects where he hasn't seen like their returns on that yet. So there's a lot of stuff where certain companies maybe aren't paying them on, you know, in a timely manner, something like that. It's a little bit of worry. And sometimes I do get this for guys who are just about to go into the military. A lot of times they're worried about how their finances will be handled while they're away, or just how they're going to take care of family and things like that while they're away, or just, you know, a number of things to deal with, you know, big life changes and the financial changes that come with that. So it could be something like that, because we are seeing kind of renewal. We're seeing something has to die for something new to happen for him. He has to give up something. So I just don't know if this is talking about when he's going to get ready to enter the military, because it's like, you know, death is like a transformation, but then the Fool says there's something completely new that's going to come from that. So it's just huge life changes and, you know, coming up for him pretty soon. And then, I think I said the Fool before, I think he's gonna grow into new markets that he hasn't fully been in before or yet. So there may be, again, some things that weren't working out for him that he's going to give up on and move and transfer those that energy into something new. And then we have with the 8 of Swords. So in reverse, again, we're seeing something like he's seeing resistance. Maybe whatever this new Fool thing is, a new project, he's seeing some people tell him not to do it. He's probably getting told that it's not where he should be directing his energy, but it seems like that's really what he wants to do. So again, I think I've said before, I think he's gonna move into something unexpected, like something totally new, something he's wanted to try he's wanted to try but has been told not to. So I think he's gonna finally maybe stop listening to some of those negative advices and move into that territory he's been wanting to. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, that's usually about kind of, you've cared about everyone else for so long, you start like, okay, it's my turn. It's like I've given everyone else what they wanted. Now it's my turn to collect, or it's at least my turn to focus on myself. So I see him turning a lot of his emotion inward. You know, hopefully it's a time for self-love and self-care, and he's gonna take some time to focus on really what he wants and what makes him happy instead of everyone else for a little while. Because we are seeing the Six of Cups, which is about fulfillment, pleasure, you know, finally just chasing after what you want in life, what really makes you happy. Sometimes it's more of a short-term goal than a long-term goal, but I'm seeing a lot of him being like, okay, I've taken care of everyone. It's time to take care of me and do what I want. So in the future, I think he's definitely you're gonna see more personal projects for him. You're gonna see him focusing on things maybe that aren't super popular, but they're really what is true to his heart. Because we see the Queen of Swords, which is about, again, we have the Page of Swords before, so now we're seeing it culminate in the Queen, which is finally about like speaking your truth and also speaking out for others. Where we saw the personality, now that may be an issue, but it's good to see in the future that he may finally get a little bit brave. He may, you know, have the right people behind him that help him feel like he can finally say and show the world who he is and what he believes in. And you know, we're gonna see he's gonna see success from that, because Six of Pentacles is about having more than you need, having enough to give, to spread around, to help other people. So he's definitely going to see rewards from being true to himself. Not that he's not true to himself now, but I think as he grows, he'll have even a stronger sense of what he wants to do and who he is. And when that goes against the grain, sometimes he'll realize it's not that big a deal. Instead of, it'll just be more like, you know, his own decisions. He'll be more in power of that state. He'll be more in power. I mean, he will be more in power, but he will have more creative control. There we go. And then we have Queen of Wands. So again, Queen of Wands is not only as he started to create for himself, his creative ideas will start to spread. That really reads to me like he's going to have some kind of label or some kind of artistic group that does things, not just a team that works for him, but almost like a group of artists that create together, and it's almost like creating an artistic movement. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it lived up to you guys' expectations. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave me a comment, subscribe. I'm still doing all the rest of the BTS's guys personality readings. So J-Hope, and who else I got? I think I got J-Hope and Jimin's personality left to do. So those are coming. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.